Mabuhay! I'm Mary Andy Tiro and I'm with Miss Marigold Linao and we are from Bitaled 7A. We are going to explain taxation in the Philippines. So, Philippine taxation, pre-colonial to colonial period. First, let's discuss about the tax law or revenue law. Is an area or legal study in which public or sanctioned authorities such as federal, state, and municipal governments use a body of rules and procedures to assess and collect taxes in a legal context.
How did taxation shape in early Filipino society? Have you ever wondered how taxes were collected before the BIR existed? Long before modern tax laws, early Filipinos were already giving part of what they had, whether it was rice or gold or even labor. So today, let's explore the story of taxation in the Philippines from the pre-colonial period to the time of the Spanish colonizers and see how it shaped our people and society. Before the Spanish came in 1521, Filipinos lived in independent communities called barangays and led by a datu. But when Spain colonized the island, taxation became a tool to fund the colonial government and the church, changing in the daily lives of the Filipinos forever.
Now, let's answer this question, which is what is pre-colonial taxation in the Philippines? So, in the pre-colonial period, taxation was rudimentary and primarily consisted of tributes known as buwis, or handog. So, these tributes were contributed by the lower class citizen to the datus, who were political leaders in their communities. So now, class, let's know what happened in the pre-colonial period in the Philippines. So these early Filipinos practiced animistic religions, revered nature, and developed sophisticated societal structures. So the local barangays or small political units were ruled by a datu or local chieftain, signifying the early political organization of the islands. So now let's know what is the government in the pre-colonial period in the Philippines. So in pre-colonial Philippines, government was decentralized and characterized by barangays, small settlements, each ruled by a datu or chief, or what we call the barangay chairman.
Now, let's proceed to the Spanish colonial taxation. Everything changed when the Spaniards came. They introduced formal and forced taxation to support their role. When the Spaniards colonized the Philippines, they introduced a formal system of taxation to support the colonial government and the church. So here are the main taxes during this period. Letter A is tribute or tributo. So this is paid by Filipinos aged 19 to 60 years old, usually paid in cash, rice, or goods, and is used to support the needs of the Spanish governments. B is the cedula personal or community tax certificate. Replaced the tribute in the late 80s. Every Filipino had to carry a cedula to prove their tax required for travel, legal papers, and other official matters. C is polo y servicio or forced labor. All Filipino males aged 16 to 60 were required to work for 40 days a year, later reduced to 15 days. Work included building roads, churches, or working on government projects. In charge, they received very low or no wages. If they didn't want to work, they had to pay the fala, or a fee to be exempted from labor. Letter D is Bandala system. Filipinos were forced to sell their crops, especially rice, the government at very low prices. This system was often abused and caused great suffering among farmers. E is a church taxes. Filipinos also had to pay their taxes to support the Catholic Church, such as first is fees, 1/10 of their produce, or fees for sacraments, the baptism or marriage, and etc. So why is this important? Taxation during colonial times showed how the Spanish used power to control the economy and people's lives. It also planted seeds of discontent and resistance. In fact, unfair taxes were one reason behind revolts, including uprising led by figures like Diego Silang and Francisco Daguhoy. Understanding his history helps us appreciate the struggle of early Filipinos and remind us why fair and just taxation is important in a democracy. Reflection or in conclusion. Studying taxation from pre-colonial to colonial times taught us that taxes were never just about money. They reflected power, control, and resistance. We realize how taxation affected the lives of the ordinary Filipinos and how it even became a cause for revolution. Today, we still pay taxes, but now we have the right to question and demand accountability from our leaders. Credits and references. And that's all for our topic for today's video. So thank you for listening, and I hope you learn about the taxation in the Philippines.